here to share his experiences and to possibly encourage others to follow suit. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first I bring you greetings on behalf of the government and people of Bayelsa State. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of what is bound to be a very successful event. I appreciate the invitation extended to the delegation from our state, and I refer to the governor, and for the very cordial working relationship we've enjoyed in the past and hope to continue to enjoy with several agencies like the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Industry, the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agencies of Nigeria, SMEDAM, others are Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and all other development agencies and partners represented here today. It's a pleasure having me not only as a guest to this event, but give me the opportunity to speak in what I consider as the most illustrious gathering of investors, entrepreneurs, policymakers, regulators, and government representatives, as well as other distinguished stakeholders and actors in business and commerce in the continent and beyond.
At the African SME Expo holding here in Federal Palace Hotel, Lagos. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to participate at this very important event of the African SME Expo 2017 here in Lagos, organized by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, which aims at showcasing the potential of the Nigerian small and medium enterprises. Let me quickly observe that the theme of the Expo promoting SMEs for sustainable development and economic growth is apt and topical, considering the current government's drive to generate jobs, create wealth, and the overall need of restructure of the economy. A nexus exists between availability of water and poverty eradication, water supply and environmental health and sanitation, water and agriculture, water and energy, water supply and job creation. In fact, it is widely believed that over 70% of all jobs are related directly or indirectly with water resources. Being aware of the overwhelming role that water plays in job creation and overall well-being of Nigerians, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources embarked on further sustainable plans and intervention to support provision of water and land for irrigation and agriculture, aquaculture, dairy farming, animal husbandry, and other sustainable activities.
A highly capital-intensive sector. It's a sector where you put in huge amount of money for upwards of 5, 7, 10 years before you begin to see something coming back. And so it has a long gestation period. But in spite of that, because the theme of this expo is promoting SMEs for sustainable development, and sugar, just like Iberi said, has something for all of us. In the course of my little presentation, we'll see areas in the sugar value chain where the SMEs also can participate. Having said that, let me say that currently we operate what we call the Nigeria Sugar Master Plan, which we started the implementation in 2013. The master plan is a roadmap designed to transform the sugar industry into a world-class, multi-product and competitive sugar industry able to satisfy our local demand and provide generate surplus for export for us to also earn foreign exchange. There are two key economic deliverables that the national economy hopes to derive from the implementation of the NSMP. One, self-sufficiency in the national production of the commodity. We are aiming for, by 2023, to be able to produce some 2 million metric tons of sugar annually. Currently, we consume about 1.5 million metric tons, and we projected that by 2023, we should be consuming about 2 million metric tons if everything works as we hope. The second one is the creation of a large pool of job opportunities. By the time we are able to achieve the self-sufficiency goal of the NSMP, we should have created about 117,000 jobs for Nigerians. Now, with the renewed focus by this government on agriculture and food security, among others, as priority platforms for government's economic growth and recovery plan.
People who are conversant with the workings of Nigerian Export Promotion Council will know that the Nigerian Export Promotion Council has come a long way, and they've done a lot in terms of promotion of export. But like I said, policy somersaults. But those of us who are conversant with the workings and what has been happening in the past maybe 9 years, today government will put up a policy to give incentives to exporters. Tomorrow, it will change. The manufacturers who are exporting finished goods in this country, in all the goods, be it crops, be it finished products. And when we talk of finished products, earlier on I said, it is difficult to define what is agricultural finished product. It varies. If you talk of animal skin, hides and skin, for example, the very finished product is not just leather. It is bags, shoes, and so many other things. And what we look at is, can we compete price-wise? Can we really? Can we? That's the simple truth. There are a lot of things being done. And I'm mentioning leather because that is one area that we seem to be excelling a little. The other area may be garments. Those are the areas we seem to, because it's also agri. Garments come from cotton. Those are the areas, but the other areas, in terms of food, when it comes to food, it becomes another ball game entirely.
Is it really possible, starting from Bayelsa State, for the SMEs to actually have adequate access to power? Because there is no way any SME can produce at an affordable price using generators to make their product. It's really, really expensive.
We are here to consider how we can move SME forward in Nigeria. Any of the and then I have a definite question for Dr. Busari. The general question is this. Early 1970s, 1980s, this country, the textile industry provided jobs next to government, 700,000 jobs with the population there. Today, the statistics show that those employed in that industry now are less than 30,000. 30,000. Most of the jobs are either exported or gone somewhere. The question is, what has accounted for this? That is 1980, today 2017. How many years after? It is degeneration. How can we restore that lost glory?
I just want to know what your opinion is regarding recent announcement that Benue State has started exporting yams abroad. I do know each time Dr. Busari had spoken with passion about sugarcane goes down to ethanol. And before we started talking about sugar and ethanol, Nigeria has been speaking about ethanol from cassava. What happened to the project of ethanol from cassava? And what's happening to the project of ethanol from sugarcane?
One of the things I didn't say is the management of the funds that we give as loans. The main challenge is recovery of loan. I think generally when the loan is given to these people, get the money back is an issue. We take it as our duty to educate those we are giving loan that the business money must be separated from your housekeeping money. Because if you don't do that, and most of them don't know, and maybe, unknowingly, they just spend the money and then to recover is a problem. Also, I didn't say that the aquaculture village we are building, and we're going to establish quite a lot of them, is actually an employment generating venture. We're having about 500 ponds. Each will be given to an individual to operate. The fish should be bought from him. He is not going to lose anything. They dry them, repackaged and sold. That is also one aspect. But again, talking about us generally, we are talking of producing, encouraging local industries to produce. You know, we buy tricycle here. It is actually, if you go to the street of Yenagua, it looks like it's only tricycle that is there. In the 70s, when I went to India to study engineering, as Nigerians, we refused to enter tricycle in the 70s. We've not seen it here before. It was one of the main transport systems there. We said, no, Nigerian officers, that we don't enter things like that. We get taxis. Only for me to get so many years back that would be the thing littering our streets. I could have been happier if we are producing it. I once challenged the guy in charge of due process. Why are we importing all these things that are not supposed to be there? Product could produce them. Product's response then was that they could produce, but what they wanted from government was to increase their production base, while those that are importing were after the profit. Because if we are all patriotic enough to invest in the production base for product, and they produce these items, this multiplier effects that you have, a lot of SMEs spring up because of that. But that is also one thing that we are most guilty of, and we should start thinking of that. Now to the power, is a very obvious question. Without power, and it was emphasized during the presentation that we don't have enough, and that is why industries are dying. And they will continue to die as long as we don't know what to do. First, I think we have, a knowledge problem also. People promise things that are not feasible. You have not produced 4, and you come and tell me you're going to produce 20. To me, as somebody that has had a lot of, a lot of problems in maintenance of engines and the rest in this country, I know it's not possible. I just know what you are promising me is not possible. You just want to feel good. And maybe engineers should think that as a challenge, that they should only promise what is available.
Well, thank you very much for those interjections. First, my friend from the Material Research and Development Council, let me first debunk the idea that sugar causes diabetes. It does not. If you do have a situation that predisposes you to have diabetes, sugar will make it worse. Yeah, but it's not the primary cause for your diabetes. And because we all need sugar, I mean the basic energy for all metabolic functions is sugar. If you do not have sugar, your brain will collapse. And everything you eat, even carbohydrates, get converted to sugar eventually, because that's what your body needs. So do not mind all these people that are trying to demarket us. But you need sugar. But of course, like everything else, you take it in moderate quantities. You know, even if you overdrink water, you run into problems. So please patronize our industry, but don't overdo it. That's one. Two, yes, there are protein sweeteners, like the tomatococcus danelli that you mentioned. The problem with that is that we do not have them, we need to have them commercialized, you know, the production prototypes. They are not at the commercial level that industries will take and begin to produce for us to buy. So, and that is where your agency actually comes in. You know, to do the research, produce the prototypes, and then commercialize them. And then others will take over from that. And because we do have the raw materials here, it makes it easy for us, probably even cheaper for us. Because like you said, some of them have multiples of sweetness units compared to even the sucrose that we all go about. So the problem is that they are not in commercial level for us to adopt to be able to now, you know, start selling them. So until we have that, you know, industry will not take them up. So that is the truth.
Somebody was talking of access to market, which was also in my papers. Like I said, there was no time to talk about that. Really, there's difficulty in marketing. But all the same, if you have any problem, it depends on what you are producing, right? I'll give you my number. And I'll also give you the number of the Executive Secretary of FACA, who is in the office 24/7, to liaise with him. And moreover, if you get in touch with NDPC to have a lot of market information, how you can easily access the markets over there. Then on yams, well, for me, people are quick to jump into conclusion and start asking. Value addition. Yes, it's laudable. It's good. Somebody was saying the other day, why ship yams when you can turn it into pharmaceutical starch? Yes, you can turn it into pharmaceutical starch, but at what cost? Tell me, if I have to produce pharmaceutical starch, for example, and ship it and lose money, why won't I produce my yam and ship and make money? What we need in this country today is to increase our foreign exchange inflow. We're talking of going to $30 billion, even $40 billion. You want to sit down first and start producing pharmaceutical stuff that is very, very expensive to produce, and at the end of the day, you'll be losing money, and at the end of the day, what will you be doing? You'll be subsidizing foreign economies. And when they talk of yam, we are the largest producer of yam. We produce over 65% of the world total production of yam. And if we ship, now that we have been looking for market for our products, and we have found one, the more we ship, the more people will farm yam. There are so many people out there who are ready to farm. And you know what? Even the yam we produce, 40% go to waste. 40 go to waste because of lack of preservation. We have informed the government severally. There is this thing called thermal-irrigation. Build it. It costs money to build. Put it in all the geopolitical zones for preservation of yams. But they've not done it. We have only one in Gwagwarada near Abuja. But we have said they should replicate these things. Because as far as I'm concerned, they should not just criticize it. Because many more people, it is easier for our people to come into farming of yam than to come into production of pharmaceutical starch. So what are we trying to promote? Is it employment or is it just aesthetics?
The doctor from UNODO said we can generate electricity from water. Of course, we know that. And that's the concept we had when we have this the two biggest dams in the southwest from Ukonshu, the Oyo Dam and the Ikere Gorge Dam. The two dams, they are multi-purpose dams. They are for fish farming, for irrigation, at the same time to generate electricity. The two components, the fish farming, of course, we've been doing that. We have so many farmers there doing cage farming. The Durantes are there, the premium farms, so many farms are there. And for the provision of irrigation water, of course, we are doing that. But the electricity component of the dam has not been done. The Oyo Dam, we were told, we're able to generate 9 megawatts of electricity from there. Ikere Gorge can give us 7 megawatts, even if for scale they say we can get up to 10. Of course, the essence of all these things is that at the end of the day, we're able to generate electricity for the community within the dams. So definitely we are still looking at that, and I'm sure that those are the things that my honorable minister went for at middle to see how we can do this thing, so that at the end of the day we'll be able to generate electricity for the community around those two places. Thank you.
My name is Shade Lawal. I'm a staff of Lagos Technology Incubation Center, Lagos. And our center is one of the various centers across Nigeria where we nurture small businesses, whether in agriculture, whether in cosmetics, food, and all these categories. You can see all the various products here. They are being produced by various entrepreneurs under us. And what we do is that we bring them in. They come in for a period of 3 to 5 years. They don't pay any fee. We incubate them. We give them a place, a factory space, big enough for them to be licensed for NAFDAC, SON, and also, so that they can stand on their feet. Then after that period, they're supposed to move to a technology park where they'll be producing subsequently. Yes.
And I'm the innovator of Egusi Soupe and Ogbono Soupe. Egusi Soupe is egusi that has been spiced and packaged for easy cooking. As you all know, today everyone is so busy, there is no time for anything. And these days people eat very unhealthy. So we got the idea of putting this together. This has all your spices and all the ingredients you need, so you don't have to stress yourself to cook. Anybody can cook it, a little child, an adult. It's so easy to cook. Then no preservatives, it's 100% fresh, it's all natural and very, very organic.
Men of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I bring greetings to you all from Kogi State, particularly from the governor of Kogi State and the Expo. It is a great pleasure and privilege to be here today at this important policy workshop organized by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to drive the development of small and medium enterprises in the continent of Africa. I would like to thank the organizers for granting me the privilege to chair this session on mining in this forum where stakeholders from Africa and some developed economies across the globe have come to share ideas and compare notes on how to collaborate in making our resources work for our people.
I would like to start by commending the federal government, state governments, private sector, think tanks, academics, business owners, and various organizations for the collaborative commitment in furthering the development of the Nigerian small and medium enterprises. Looking around the room, your participation in today's workshop, which holds much significance for the direction of my state, Kogi State's industrialization projections, clearly signifies this commitment. This says a lot about the importance of the topic for today's workshop. I wish to organize my remarks around mining prospects in Nigeria. The extraction of mineral deposits in Nigeria has its own share of neglect and decay since the growth of the oil industry in 1950, but there have been deliberate efforts by the government to revive the sector. As you are all aware, Nigeria is endowed with a wide range of minerals. There are currently about 44 different types of minerals in the country. Although not all minerals are available in commercial quantities, but 80% of the minerals classified by Ministry of Mines and Steel Development as world-class and industrial minerals are found in Kogi State. Among the world-class minerals found in the state, Kogi State, in commercial quantity include crude oil, gold, bitumen, gemstone, iron ore, calcitrite, tantalite, columba. And the industrial minerals also found in the state include limestone, marble, clay, mica, feldspar, dolomite, silica sands, gypsum, kaolin, talc, tin, magnesium, quartz, etc. The availability of these natural resources in the state presents some good prospect for industrialization of the state and enhanced earning. But the structure under which we operate is a hindrance to the realization of these advantages. This is not peculiar to Kogi State, as virtually all states of the Federation hosting essential natural endowments lack the legal instrument to appropriate and utilize them for the benefit of their people.
Division of labor in agricultural policy support between the federal and the states in particular. Our constitution puts the leadership role for agricultural development for the state, not for the federal. And in most of the works we do, you do a cursory survey of policy support programs in states in Nigeria, you will discover that almost all the initiatives of grant are emanating from the federal, and the state will just follow suit. That is not what the Constitution intends for us to develop agriculture. Constitution assumes, the makers assume that land is in the state, the farmers are in the state, the investors are in the state, and what the federal needs to do was specially carved out in the division of labor in Constitution in the Schedule 2 of the Constitution. Section 17 carves out role for federal in terms of finance, in terms of promotion, and in terms of research. And then leave the whole section 18 for any conceivable activities in agriculture. But that is not what we are planning, and that's not what we are doing. So it is the tail now that is wagging the dog in Nigerian agriculture, and it's part of our policy failures. It behoves on the state to take responsibility for agricultural development in its own domain, and from there, federal government can come to give financial support, to give research support, and to give promotional support.
Nigerian SMEs faces a lot of challenges. And on this platform, we are not only looking at the Nigerian SMEs. If you look at the name of the event, it's African SME Expo. We are looking at the entire African as a nation to address the issue of SMEs, which is the small medium enterprise, which is the bedrock of every economy. And this is the instance where we have put this program together. And this problem spans in various areas. You have the area of technology, we have the issue of finance, we have the issue of logistics, we have the issue of packaging. You say, what's applicable to A does not applicable to B. So on this forum, what we want to do and what we intend to do is to bring all stakeholders together across the African nation, and let's come together and share a practical experience on the way forward to address all these practical problems for a practical solution.
Strong institutions, the institutions that will sustain. That is why most of our policies are passed through the State Assembly, that any person that can have no way, no option, that will sustain them. Or you go back to the Assembly to change. We all believe, and before these bills are passed, the public hearing, so the entire state is carried along. So it will be difficult for somebody to just jettison them. I'm not saying they can't have another solution, but from the reality we have on the ground, it will be difficult to jettison them. You may alter the approach. That will be done because people think in different ways. But I think we have set a very solid foundation for others to build. Yeah.
Let's go, yeah. Push your car down. Left, 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 left. Ha. Push it down full. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Ha. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I would like to take you on a ride. I'll be your Superman. I'll take you to the sky. We're going dancing deep. 'Cause I'll be actually. Yo, back with a banger. For the hood, for the street, for the zanga. The return of the microphone handler. Came back to set.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, it's my pleasure to welcome you. Thank you very much for coming in early. I'd like to welcome the Alaki and Paramount Ruler of Egala, Gabisu, Eshike, Etiti. Thank you very much. Welcoming a first-class engineering brain and an alumnus of the distinguished and respected University of Lagos, businessman par excellence, a gentleman's gentleman, passionate lover of our dear country, Nigeria, a detribalized icon, a man of awe-inspiring accomplishments, the Olunla of Egbaland, Aria Tulushe of Mako, two-term governor of Ogun State, and the president of Chester Laurel, Otumba Olubenga Justice Daniel, our chairman and chief project engineer. Please can make a round of applause louder. Let me give you the brief background of the product. I've been in business for a very long time under the auspices of Kamsin Holdings Limited, and we have successfully engaged in several other business ventures. I give glory to God for the success recorded so far. But the journey culminating in the launching today started about 3 years ago when I became curious about the gaming industry. As with other business ventures, we searched and discovered a space within the gaming industry in which we think we can comfortably operate. We came up with a unique product calculated to give us a fair chance at creating a niche in the market. Therefore, it gives me a great pleasure and excitement to introduce to you the latest game in town, one of its kind in Nigeria,
a crash card game that offers players on equal and an unprecedented winnings ratio within the various options. That is the Lotto plus Crash and Win card, powered by Kamsin Holdings Limited. We figured that our product should be seamless, simple, straightforward, and transparent. We also want to attract participation beyond what you usually see gathering at betting houses, kiosks. With a simple and transparent game provided in familiar, non-intimidating environment, our product is calculated to attract a broad range of participants beyond what the statistics are showing us correctly. We also think in order to derive fun and satisfaction in any game of chance, participants must have the highest possible level of winning expectation. Admittedly, the licensing agents have set a winning percentage level which has sufficiently sustained the industry so far. However, our trade secrets involve exceeding the regulated percentage of the winning substantially.
For us, the story is quite simple. I mean, a lot of people come to Lagos. You know, the idea is once you can get it right in Lagos, you can get it right everywhere. What you're bringing to the table is very innovative. Like Honorable mentioned, you know, you don't have to wait till the game finishes or wait for the outcome of particular games. These are instant winnings, and in a time where people are looking for hope, where people are looking to diversify, this brings a form of recreation, and more importantly, the amount of jobs that will be created, and not just those jobs, they're talking about the families that will be assisted with programs like this. So I just want to thank Kamsin Holdings, Lotto Plus for this brilliant initiative at this point in time. Well, I just want to round up by, again, talking a little bit about Lagos. Obviously, most of you are aware, we're currently the 5th largest GDP in Africa. There's a lot going on from an administration perspective. We're welcoming investments. We're doing all we can to make sure the ease of investment into the state gets better. And obviously, if you've been following His Excellency Governor Akinwumiambode's administration, you also agree with me that a lot of investment has been going in to make sure we have the right investors and the right businesses here. And the same applies to us in the Lagos State Lotteries Board. We want to ensure that we have the right regulatory standards because investors actually want to come into regulated environments. So we are doing our best to make sure that we have an environment that welcomes companies like Kamsin Holdings and all other gaming investors within the space. So once again, I want to congratulate the entire Lotto Plus team. I wish you continued success, and I also want to enjoin other prospective gaming investors to follow this model going forward, whereby you respect the different laws and regulations within the state and also at the national level. Thank you very much.
A new standard. More bread, more butter, more plata, more Fanta, no cook, no ganja. So gifted that he must know Santa, no slander. Let him hail his reign, more banter. Them a wonder, them a panda. How a short black boy came conquer. From a leg of his Benz to a Honda, to a crib from the bridge he was under. Did he do Yahoo? Did he lander? Now chicks follow bumper to bumper.
Most important and eminent personalities here present, permit me to say all other protocols duly extended. And let me quickly start by congratulating our brother and friend, Honorable Adi Amishon, for adding yet another milestone to his stock of business entrepreneurship. When he informed me of this program, as you are probably aware, things like Lotto are something that if you're a traditional person, you are really worried about. It's like playing pool and some of these things. So I was wondering how he thinks somebody like me will fit. But on second thought, I came to the conclusion that what indeed he has tried to do is something that we all must be very proud of. and we must compliment and commend him for his efforts. You will be wondering why, but if you look at the environment of our country today, you will find out that the biggest challenge that we have is the challenge of unemployment. If you remember how it used to be, back at the university, when I say those days, it makes me look like an old man. It's not quite far. And I remember that by the time you get to part 2, if you study, serious courses like engineering, you will have a retinue of people who will come to university to interview you for possible job placement. Share will come, all of them will come. But it's a thing of regret that today, it is common to find graduates of engineering, of accountancy, medicine, 5 years on, and still they don't have work to do. I don't think that if there's anything that is a national disaster other than this. And when Kade told me that at the first instance, this scheme is going to put about 5,000 people in employment in Lagos, I thought the minimum we should do is to clap for him. And in any case, when you also look at our culture, most of us, when we go to church, we're always looking for miracle. Nobody knows how this miracle is going to come. But I think that this lotto business might actually be the miracle. What is also quite exciting to me is for him to have declared that a large portion of this proceeds will be devoted to the Lotto Foundation, you said, and hoping that this will further put him in a position to encourage many more people.
See awards everywhere in the bunker. There's a chocolate boss, Willy Wonka.
To the glory of God, for the benefit of mankind, it is my honor and privilege to unveil the latest scratch card and tool, the first one in Nigeria, in this business of lottery regulation. In the name of God the Father, I'm not saying I'm name. If you don't say amen, you will not win. God the Son, amen. And God the Holy Spirit, amen.
For the club, for the street, for the studios. In my new crib, new car, new clothes. Same actor, different year, new boss. I'm a bad guy who knows sharp guys, who know fly guys, who pop new flow. And the champagne do flow anytime we celebrate, cause we generate new dough. And we off to conquer a new coast. Anywhere the game has got loopholes. All these rappers that be forming I2 knows they can't keep up, they need glucose. Where did M come from, man, who knows? No other rap sound like judos. And he's not alone, he's got two bros. For the 2-0-1-0, who those Shot City boys sing? Yeah.
It involves the population. It is all about the population. And if you have any lottery scheme, you have to cover a lot of people. And in that coverage, you have to employ a lot of people to go and cover those people who are playing the game. Therefore, you cannot avoid employing people when you are running any lottery scheme. So, running lottery scheme like this one, which is introduced by a lot of us, is really going to give employment opportunity for many people in Nigeria. And if this is done by so many others, then the menace of unemployment is going to be reduced minimally.
From my side, please, what are the rules and regulations? What are the do's and don'ts of becoming one of the Las Vegas Olympics?
Well, we have laid down rules and regulations that are available for everybody. Go to our sites, you will see those rules and regulations governing the operation of lottery in Nigeria. If you want to run any lottery scheme, you come to us, and if you want to do it just immediately at your instance, you open our website and you will see those rules, laid down rules and regulations that will either make you to be a player, even an operator of one scheme or the other.
In the course of this, I now thought maybe I should look for something domesticated in business nation, and that was what brought about this lottery thing. And also, it provides a lot of employment opportunity for other people and so on and so forth. That is the real thing that gives me the joy in it. That I'm not going to be the only beneficiary. Others too will definitely benefit out of it.